Kilmar Armando Abrego Garcia is a Salvadoran national who became the focal point of a significant legal and diplomatic dispute between the United States and El Salvador in 2025. Abrego Garcia entered the U.S. in 2011 at the age of 16, fleeing gang violence in El Salvador. In 2019, a U.S. immigration judge denied his asylum request but granted him withholding of removal status, recognizing the potential danger he faced if returned to El Salvador. This status allowed him to live and work legally in the U.S., and he settled in Maryland with his American wife and child, complying with annual IC check-ins. On March 15, 2025, despite his protected status, Abrego Garcia was mistakenly deported to El Salvador, an action the Trump administration later described as an administrative error. Upon arrival, he was detained without trial in El Salvador's high-security terrorism confinement center, SECOT, notorious for housing alleged gang members under harsh conditions. The U.S. Supreme Court unanimously ruled on April 10, 2025, that Abrego Garcia's deportation was illegal and ordered the government to facilitate his return. However, the Trump administration interpreted this as removing domestic barriers without obligating them to secure his release from El Salvador. President Nayib Bukele of El Salvador refused to repatriate Abrego Garcia, citing unproven allegations of MS-13 affiliation and stating, "Are you suggesting I smuggle a terrorist into the United States? Of course, I'm not going to do it." The case has drawn criticism from human rights advocates, legal experts, and members of Congress, who argue that Abrego Garcia's continued detention violates due process and international human rights norms. His family and legal representatives maintain his innocence, emphasizing his lack of criminal history and the dangers he faces in El Salvador. Hit subscribe, don't miss the drip.